first of all, share with you a very, very interesting, somewhat evil type of actual experiment that was done in 1960 by a guy called Martin Siegelman. And what was this experiment? Well, it's a horrible experiment because they really abused a lot of animals. And let me explain what they did. They took three groups of dogs. One group of dogs were the control group, and nothing was done to them, which means in this case they didn't electrocute them, believe it or not. The second group of dogs, so that's group one, nothing happened to them. The second group of dogs, they were subjected to electrocution, but the dogs could hit a button that would allow them to stop their electrocution, which means the dogs could take an action which would enable them to get out of the torture. Okay, that was group two. The third group of dogs were dogs which were also subjected to electrocution, and even if they hit that button that group two could do, nothing happened, which means they were helpless. All right, got it? So after they did this to all these three groups of dogs and, got them into this mode, they took group one, group two, and group three, and they put them into a room. And this room had two halves. The left side of the room had a floor, which could subject the dogs to electrocution. And there was a very low barrier, only about a foot, that the dog could jump over and get out of this. Okay? So the dog could take an action to get over the suffering. So group one, when they subjected that group to the electrocution, they said, I'm getting out of here. And they took action and they got out. Willful action. Group two, which was the one that was trained where they could hit a button, same thing. When they got subjected to electrocution, they also jumped out. Group three, which is a group that had been subjected to electrocution and they were feeling helpless, when that group was subjected to electrocution, they just stayed there. They said, I can't really do much, even though they could have just jumped. Their path to freedom was just a foot away, but they didn't do anything. So this became known in the psychological circles as something called, write this down, called learned, L-E-A-R-N-E-D, helplessness. Learned helplessness. Learned helplessness. The group three of dogs learned how to be helpless. Okay? So they did this with dogs. Then they did the same thing with rats. Same thing they found, right? Different group of mammals. And then years later, apparently they did this with humans. Obviously, didn't electrocute them. They did it in a different way. With humans, what they did was they subjected humans to a horrible noise, sound. Okay? Group one of humans was not subjected to the sound. They were the control group. Group two was subjected to the sound, and they had a button they could hit to stop the sound. Group three was also exposed to the sound, and when they hit that button to stop the sound, nothing happened, right? Same kind of thing. Anyway, after they gotten them into this mode, then when they exposed them to the sound, group one knew how to get out. Right? They knew how to hit the button. Group two knew how to hit the button. Group three just subjugated themselves to the sound and said, I guess we can't do anything. Even though the button they could have hit to stop it. Learned helplessness. Everyone following what I'm saying? Now, what they want to do is to make you like those dogs, to be learned helplessness, which means you say, wow, I guess, these billionaires, they do all this stuff and the elites are so powerful and strong, and they're going to control social media, and then they're going to control this, and they're going to put me on digital currency, and woe is me, I can't do anything. So I'm just going to, what am I going to do? I'm just going to watch more videos. I'm not going to actually get off my butt and take action, but that means you have to get off your butt. So that's the background. Learned helplessness. That